Hello, Steve White, Trekboy 89 for Steve Arts 89. Well, didn't we have a very well kept surprise this week? So I just watched Star Trek Picard Season 3, Episode 5, Imposters, and Ro Laren appeared. She, of course, was part of the investigation against the Changelings. She was probably the only person who was managing that, and she was probably leading it. She came to the Titan, and she was very tense, very hard. Picard and her, the history, he was attacking her the whole time as to how she was a commander, how she got back into Starfleet after betraying them, betraying him. And it was pretty ugly for a while there, and I thought, I don't like this. These are not the characters that I knew. This is not, Star Trek. This is this really forced conflict between characters that I keep hearing that, shows have to have drama, and Star Trek can't exist without it, and I really wasn't enjoying it. Eventually they went to, because she was sent on basically to interrogate them in regards to them being charged with insubordination and so forth, for basically trying to stealing a shuttle and whatever else they did. So eventually they go on the holodeck, and of course they go to 10-4 because they've already got that set built. And they talk, they hash it out, and they do eventually get down to the emotional baggage they both have from the past, and they realise that they are indeed both who they say they are. They're not changelings, and that's when it gets real, and they start to be their real selves, and save the whole episode. Because up until then it was awful. I just remember thinking, this is the worst of Deep Space Nine. It's not even, Star Trek or Good Next Gen. But then they pulled it out. They pulled it out last minute. Now Jack is having visions of himself killing people, and there were too many of them. There were, I think, 3. The first opening scene, he shoots everyone on the bridge, but you sort of know that it's not real. The second time, I can't remember. The last time though, he was talking to a transporter chief, and he shot him, and I'm like, this is too many. We keep having these visions of him killing people, and we don't know. The audience doesn't know. It was too far, too many times. But basically, the Titans sent over a shuttle with Ro and some security guards, and she was helping them without them realizing. She was basically taking all the crew off the ship and putting them onto the Intrepid, which was the other ship, so that they basically only had a few people to deal with, a skeleton crew to deal with, so far as making sure that they weren't changelings. Because the changelings, and we do have an excuse for the different appearance of the changelings now, instead of being hollow, transparent creatures who just create the image of people on the surface, they actually have evolved, or some of them have evolved, to actually reproduce the entire being, including all the internal organs and blood and everything. So that's why when that changeling changed into a liquid form, it looked like dissolving organs and inside of body parts and everything, because that's what it was. I did think maybe that's what it was, but I sort of thought that doesn't make any sense. Why would they need to do all that? That just seems like extra design work for the sake of it, and just for the sake of having the effects technology now. But there is a story reason for it, so I was wrong. Whatever. Okay, so what else happened? Okay, so they made up. Ro gave Picard her Bajoran earring, which she conspicuously wasn't wearing. And we find out later that had all her files, everything that she had, she gave to him. And she got back on the shuttle. They left without Jack, and the security was a bit weird about it, and they set up a bomb on the shuttle, beamed off, left her on the shuttle with the bomb. She couldn't dismantle it, she couldn't stop it, so she basically flew the shuttle into the Intrepid's warp nacelle, so that when it blew up, it destroyed, it damaged the warp. So basically Picard could run, and she sent a last message and said, basically, I've given you what you gave me, a fighting chance. And it was very emotional. I mean, I cried when they connected again. I cried when Picard said, I finally see you, and I'm sorry it took until just now. And it was beautiful. It was brilliant. It was awful to start off with, and then it was all surface, and then the real characters, the real emotions, the real everything came out. It was really good. Basically, they convince Shaw that they have to get out of there, and Jack actually destroys. There's actually 4 changelings. The 2 find him, and then they alert 2 others who come, and Jack manages in one of his visions, seeing the red vines and the red, looks like petals, and this red door at the end of the hall. And he's just like a machine. He just kills them all, and he has no idea what's happened. Basically, they warp out just as the Intrepid fires on them, and they warp out before the torpedoes hit them, and then they're on the run because they've been set up by the changeling infiltrated Starfleet, basically. And they are, Beverly and Jack are talking, and she asks him, how did you know they were changelings? He says, I didn't. I think there's something very wrong with me. And he's crying, and she's, because what has happened to him? We know he's just a human born of Picard and Crusher, so why does he have these are they special powers? Is it something external that's possessing him? What is it? I don't know. But it was a great episode, another great episode. We are into the second sort of part of this story. And Worf, I forgot about Worf and Raffi. Worf and Raffi basically were trying to find out more information. They go down to that planet, and they end up talking to a Vulcan gangster. Yes, a Vulcan gangster, which is only logical in that part of space to set up an organised crime ring, of course. That part I didn't like as well. But Worf faked his death. They were challenged to challenge each other and duel each other. Worf faked his death, and they got the upper hand, and they got the information out of the Vulcan because it's only logical for him to give it to them. So I think that's the whole episode. Utopia Planitia was what they needed to get access to. He, I think, had something that basically made it impenetrable except for him, and that's what he was going to give them. So it looks like they're going to get some answers from Utopia Planitia because everything, the security, and Ro brought up Federation Day or whatever it is. Basically, she doesn't know she couldn't get access to any of the security plans, and it looks like everything, there's going to be some terrorist attack when, everyone's together and this big event is on, and it's all about, it's going to be a bit Star Trek 6, I think, like the Kittima conference is going to be what they're going to have to protect. It's going to be some event that's going to be targeted. So, yes. The emotional character work between Ro and Picard and Patrick Stewart and I forgot the name of the actress. It was brilliant. Everything else is going really well. There's some of the off-world stuff with Worf and Raffi is, it's not really Star Trek, but it's understandable because they're off-world. They're dealing with people outside of that. There was a line about Utopia cannot, there's no Utopia without crime. That's part of the message of Deep Space Nine that I didn't like, that has sort of been put into this, which I think is against what Star Trek stands for, and I don't appreciate it, but there's really no way around it. They're sort of, but is that what we're going to defeat? Are we finally going to get rid of this element that has been there since Deep Space Nine? Is this going to be a final victory and we finally cleanse the Federation and we get a Federation back now that is a utopia, that isn't compromised? I really don't know. But I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. I have a doctor's appointment about to call any second now, so I'm just going to end this. I'm looking forward to the next episode. I don't really like them being on the outside and on the run, but that is where they're going with this. They have to save Starfleet, basically, from the biggest threat they've ever had, which was the threat we thought we were going to have with Deep Space Nine, with the changelings, infiltrating and taking over. It'll be interesting. But I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. I still can't watch the shows on my TV. I can't stream it. I'm watching it on my computer, which has made it far less enjoyable because it is cinematic. And I really would like to watch it on my TV and give it the respect it deserves. I'll have to probably buy it on Blu-ray and watch it properly then. So it's very frustrating, but it's so good. I'm not noticing so much. I'm so focused that I'm not actually noticing so much. But it would be better on my TV. But I'm going to go. Bye.